G'day everybody. So this is a bit of a saga today. It's the 17th of May and it's day 254, I think it is. And Jeremy is not looking good out in the ocean there trying to get to Les Sables d'Olonne. Hopefully you're getting all this. We had a few issues today. We were actually set up this morning at 10 o'clock local time to do this. And we use this is a Belive software package, and something's been happening to them. In fact, you'll notice our screen is a little bit different. It's got these black bits on the side here, on either bit there, and we can't control the screen shape anymore. And this morning, when it came up, it said the server was overloaded, and so we checked all our stuff. It's fine, and we think it's the company, the software that we've got. They're having a few issues, so we haven't been able to get anything up at all this morning. We tried again every couple of hours, didn't work, but it's finally come back online. So here we are, and we can follow up on Jeremy's position. But before we do, a couple of things. We're going to do a Q&A. I'll get that up, but it's a YouTube Q&A. So if you want to ask the questions, you got to put your questions rather, in the YouTube comments. So we don't take Facebook questions on this one. And the other one was the prize giving. Just remember, it's on the 24th of June, because I said a wrong date before. There's a lot of people coming over, and there'll be a great opportunity to meet the skippers on the Vendée Marina. We'll have quite a few of the GGR boats here, and all the skippers. We hope to have all the skippers on the marina for a couple of hours in that afternoon, from about 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I think it is. So you can wander down the pontoon, see the guys and girls on the boats, and maybe sign some posters and bits and pieces, so you get to meet them. And then the prize giving is that night. So that's something to look forward to if you're coming to town. And there's a marine festival weekend. There'll be other maritime activities going on. They've got the Vendée VAR here on the weekend in Les Sables d'Olonne. It's a big, that's the big sort of like Hawaiian canoe paddling races. People come in from all over the world for that, so that's cool. And the weather's getting better. The beaches are looking good, and they've got more playthings out on the water now with Les Sables d'Olonne. So it's a good time to come for a weekend if you want to do it. We had been scheduling to get Captain Goog do a technical run through on his boat, but he's been flat out. We've got 5 big crates of sardines here that he carried on his boat around the world. He's packaged them up. They're going back to 300 cans or something, used for special celebrations and bits that have sailed around the world. But he's now packed up. He's got his film crew. He's been busy with media, all that sort of stuff. So he's actually, I think, already left. He is leaving about just after midday today, heading back home. So we might not get to do his boat and him until the prize giving on the 24th. So it's on the agenda still. Okay, I think that's all we needed to do there. So let's go over to Jeremy, and I'll explain his private disaster here with the weather. It's not much fun for him. Anyway, you can see right now, in fact, he's pushing out a bit because he knew. In fact, now he's only doing 2.7 knots, and he's running straight into the breeze. He's by the look of that, he's holding very high on starboard tack with the wind on the starboard side. And his distance from Les Sables d'Olonne is right now, it's around about 870 miles. So normally that would be could be, just a 6-day sail. But what I'm about to show you is a complete disaster for him. He's got basically about 8 days of headwinds, which is unbelievable. You may remember Kirsten, Abelish, Simon, coming in here, Goog. They all had pretty good weather. It was all following along behind. But at the moment, it's not the way it's looking for Jeremy. If we look at the leaderboard here, he's still up there, and I think the numbers will be about the same. So yeah, 880, and this is predicting with a 4-knot average speed around about the 26th of May. That could be pretty correct, but it could even be a bit later because he's going to have to start tacking and all sorts of stuff. So I'm expecting him now somewhere towards the end of next week even. He's got a real struggle. So I'll explain that as we go. You can see there he's on the edge. If he tacks across, he knows he's going to get into this stronger headwinds. So he's probably because he'll be running his barometer as well. He knows there's some lower pressure here. And if we look at the big picture before I show you what's going on, it's just a mishmash of bits. And he's right on the edge of these troughs. This is trying to act like it's the Azores high, but it's not really well organised at all. So what you'll see now, and I'll pick this up again so we can see it in a reasonable scale. I'm just going to click it through, and you'll see he's basically got headwinds for every day. Headwinds, or if he goes too far out to the west, which he won't do, but if we stopped it there, for instance, that's around about in 24 hours. He's just got headwinds again, light headwinds. This will be 10 to 15 knot headwinds. So and the sea's going to be pretty mild, but nonetheless, you're just bouncing around going into that. So there's day one, and all that happens on day two. The Azores high has just formed up a bit now. You can see, you could call it a Azores high. It's now moving away, but he's on the southeast side of it, so that's just giving him headwinds. So this is coming into 2 days from now, and you can see he's got all headwinds, and it's starting to pick up. You can see some yellowy orangey color in here, so that means it's up around 25 knots, gusting maybe even 30, something like that, and probably about a 2 to 3 meter sea. Let's have a look at the waves here. Oh, it's more than that. That's 3 to 4 meter sea there. So going to windward in 3 to 4 meter sea and 30 knots of headwinds, the parent wind's a little bit higher. That's what you call not happy days. Okay, he's going to be really complaining. I think we'll see it on the tweet. So this is the second day out, and we'll keep pushing this through. But it's a sad story indeed. So here we go. Nope, it's not moving. Okay, so moving in towards day three, nothing changes. He's just got this constant, anything changes in the wind speed, and it looks to be fluctuating between about sort of 20, 25 knots, maybe getting higher. If he's into this stuff here, that's 30 knots, maybe gusting 35 with 4 meter seas. So he's going to be going nowhere in a hurry, and he doesn't have a choice now. He can't just decide to go out over here because he's trying to get home to Les Sables d'Olonne. So this is really going to slow him up, and it's really going to not make him happy. I would hate it. It's really a horrible way to finish off. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a storm. You can see here, this is all part of the system, but it's just headwinds. So this is on the 21st. So this is 4 days time. In 4 days time, even with his tacking, he'll be making less than 100 miles a day. So in 4 days, he's probably going to be around about here somewhere, not even in the Bay of Biscay yet. So yeah, not happy days. And basically, when we go into the 5th day, more headwinds. Nothing's changed. We go into the 6th day, stronger headwinds. At least there's a change, but it's not a good one. It's still there, and it's the worst possible direction, because now, okay, that's 22nd. That's 5 days. And normally I was saying it's 6 days and he's home, but this will be only 400 and something miles, I reckon. He won't make 100 miles a day in this direction, so he's still not in the Bay of Biscay, and he's still got headwinds 5 days out. If this forecast is correct, it's not a pretty sight for him. I mean, it's not dangerous, it's just really uncomfortable, and it's going to work the boat. You can see there's plenty of breeze. There's 28 gusting 35, maybe a bit more. 4 meter seas, just trying to push into that is really not good. And that's 6 days away, so nearly a week. A week later, if he's lucky, if he's decided to work really hard and push into this, tack all the way up, he might just get a chance to squeak off, but then it's still coming directly from Les Sables d'Olonne. So my suggestion on ETA, it's certainly not going to be before the 26th, because even then, when it dies off, it's still headwinds. The wind direction just is not changing. Anyway, that's about all I can say there. He's just lucked out, I think, and not a happy day for him. But nevertheless, that's sailing, I suppose. So we'll keep an eye on him, and we'll get into this Q&A on YouTube. We'll put that up in a few minutes, so you can ask your questions on the GGR YouTube. So we'll see you again in 2 days' time for another update of Jeremy. See you later.